Maybe
Okay.
Laurel's coming now, maybe.
Is that her? Did you hear the
I heard a
bell?
bell. I heard a
That
bell.
was my phone.
Well, then I'll just
Oh, that's your
say
phone.
this.
Never mind.
Somebody's phone.
I got an email today from Mr. Robeson who said, hey, if you guys want to have the January 7th meeting at my house, let me know. And I said, oh, thank you for offering. How nice. I will ask the E-Board guys what they think
Yeah.
about that. And in a way, I think it's kind of cool to have that because it's kind of like we come around, right? You know,
Absolutely.
because
Also, it's warmer inside his house.
Yes.
True. I don't think we want to meet outside right
Yeah.
No, no.
now.
Sounds good.
okay, I just, you know, I wanted to ask that question of you
Yeah.
guys to see what you thought.
Why
about
not?
it. Okay, fine. Which
It
is
would be
good
nice
because,
if we-
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start.
Okay.
We value people's input at our meetings and we want to show them respect, so please refrain from interrupting the speaker or getting up and walking away from the table when they are speaking. Hold your comments until they are done, and then raise your hand to be called on. Please join me in eliminating the crosstalk during meetings. Thank you. And how many times have we respected that? Actually, I think we
A couple
have
times.
respected it very well.
One time,
Yeah.
certainly.
Okay, so, Carol, would you be ready to approve the minutes from November? First of all, does everybody have a copy of the e-board minutes from
Yeah.
November? Okay, great.
So are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
No, it looks good to me.
If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
And who will second that?
Oh,
Okay,
Um,
then the minutes
I
are
didn't get a
passed.
first motion. Oh, well, okay.
Huh?
Oh, okay, fine, there was a second?
Well, two of us seconded it, you know,
Oh, here we go.
before we could take one
So
of us.
who makes the one of us made the motion, one of us second.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it happened too fast for me. Okay.
Just pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go faster for
So,
you
all in
there,
favor?
Roberts.
Aye.
And this is on tape too? Oh my
Yes.
God. All right,
Now,
okay, thank you.
officer turnovers, the reason I put this on the agenda is, and I know some of us have more paperwork than other guys, but if you are turning over a lot of paperwork, like for instance, Carol's gonna be turning over this big binder
Magic
full of
binder.
information. And,
Rummy.
you know, it's gonna be all nice and neat in order for the next guy, and I think it's gonna be Shayna. And she's gonna really appreciate that, because it sets an example of what you're supposed to do. Everybody's gonna do their thing a little differently, but, you know, we're saying basically, this is what worked for me doing this task, so here you go, good luck. Okay? The next thing we wanna talk about is the current slate. Now, as of the 19th, Chris Robeson is running unopposed for president. No one else has expressed any interest in that. And you know what, last year, it was kind of the same deal. You know, nobody else really wanted to do it. I have had a great time being the president. I think it's a really cool thing, and I'm kind of hoping that other people between now and then will think, you know what, I could do this. Because it is a cool thing to do, and it does mean a lot. Hi, Laurel. Hi. And I think that, you know, he wants to do this, and I hope that all of you guys will help him out, because he's gonna need some help, you know, a lot of help. The reason I say that is because I don't see a lot of people stepping up to do the leadership roles. It's really super hard for one guy or one or two or three guys to pull this off. It's a lot of work.
I'll continue the website.
Yeah, and that is a huge part of this club. You know,
Yeah.
you notice that
Great,
other
yeah.
Dem clubs don't have a cool
They
website
don't.
like we do. And they don't have somebody that videotapes everything. They're not as transparent as we are. So, you know, we really have it going on in that respect, and I thank you for that,
Yeah.
Stuart.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
This, and Laurel came in right on cue here, because we're talking about the offices. And I put down in the agenda, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it yet, Laurel, that you said you would run for vice president as long as there is a co-vice president in the running. And I don't have a co-vice president
No, I
in the
didn't
running.
quite say that. I said that, I did sort of say that, but,
Don't feel pressured to do this.
no,
really.
I'm not, but I want to explain myself because I'm just like, I'm sorry, I forgot something and so I had to go back.
As I mentioned, Shayna Bloom also running unopposed as secretary, because nobody else really wants. Personally, I think other people are gonna step in and back each other we'll back each other up, because nobody wants to see the club drop.
Well, I also think too that, Chris might be able to recruit others as well. I mean, I don't think we just feel like we have just from our own ranks.
I'm glad. Another thing I want to bring up is the property of Yes We Can Dem Club. We actually have stuff, we've got, and I listed it here on the agenda, the stuff that we have. The bulk of the stuff is in our garage and in Cindy's garage.
Yeah.
And I want to know if you are willing to keep it for a while until there is a transition made.
Yeah.
Because if Chris does become the president, it's then logical that the stuff is gonna be at his house.
Makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
exactly. So I figured it might be a couple months or it has to kind
Yeah.
of stay here until.
It's not like
It
I'm
gets
gonna show
organized.
up on January 7th and go, here's your stuff, here you go, I mean, so I just wanna be sure that, we are willing to have some transition time. Okay, great. Now, the button making machine, he is actually using that right now for, Janine Pierce's campaign.
And he's gonna be using it for Bernie's campaign too.
That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that. You notice that our club hasn't endorsed anybody officially yet, but,
Right,
Yeah, we don't need to.
It's okay.
That means,
Did you have a question, Lee?
No.
Stuart?
I have a question. I've been asked, and I've complied with requests to put this particular poster on our website, announcing different events for different candidates. Is that kosher, as it were, if we haven't?
I see no problem with that, as long as we're not saying the Yes We Can Democratic Club endorses blah, blah, blah. We can say, hey, Bernie Sanders people are having a meeting here. Janine Pierce campaign is meeting over here. Eric
Yeah.
Ray is having an event over here. We can say, events are events.
Okay.
Endorsements are a completely different thing. Yeah, so yes, an events page would be fantastic.
Besides, you ought to know what kosher is.
No.
You should tell us.
Yes. Right.
Stuart, just out of curiosity, which candidates are doing that?
No, I mean, I've had requests from members of the club, who are working on these other campaigns, as I am too. Could you please post this on the club's website, the upcoming Bernie event, the upcoming Janine Pierce event, whatever it is.
But we did endorse
I did too.
Janine, so, didn't we?
Yes,
Right.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I think we did.
I think we did.
I think we
You're right.
voted at the last.
Yes, we did.
At the November
We
meeting.
can.
You're right, we did.
Because Janine's a member of our club.
Go Janine. The other thing is, and I'm just gonna, the event page that you're talking about, I think brings traffic to our website.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
really
the
do.
traffic has moved.
Has it?
Has it?
Yeah.
It's because of that red, white, and blue flag waving in the background. Okay,
That's good
good.
every time.
So we're way ahead of schedule, this is great.
Oh,
So,
and the only reason we weren't getting hits before is because we weren't logged in, unable to log in according to WIX's protocol. But I did a Google Analytics login, and I think I sent you the link to it.
You
I'll
did, I
send it
didn't look
again.
at
So
it.
you just figured that out.
Yeah, so whatever hits we got, I don't know what it was, but lately it's been,
Well, I think they owe us money.
I don't have the
Okay.
raise.
Does anybody else have any comments about the property of Yes We Can? Yes.
I have what was in a bag, but now I have it in a banker's box of the things that Chris Diwali gave me when I took over the treasurer position. So I'd like to hang on to that.
That's
and
fine.
Through the end of January at least, until after I do the filing reports. And as I told you before, several years are missing. Some of it is our old documents. I also, my sister's supposed to help me do an Excel spreadsheet. So I have stuff in folders, but I don't have it in.
If you need any help with Excel spreadsheet, I can help you.
Yeah, my secretary used to do mine for me.
go.
I just never did them,
Get those
even though I
These
took it.
days.
I know,
Get that
I
in a
should
minute.
call
Cindy said
Laura.
she would help
We
with
had
Spread some.
lunch a few months ago. I should have asked her.
Did you hear that? That Cindy said she would help with Excel spreadsheets, get that in the minutes. She did.
Get that down in writing. Yeah, the other thing is, if you guys have miscellaneous property, you know, like files and stuff like that, we have these little cool plastic containers that are sitting in Cindy's garage that, you know, if you don't wanna throw it away and you think it's important, just bring it, because we can put them in those containers. Those containers right now, they currently have, and I'm not kidding, rocks in some of them to hold papers on tables.
Oh.
And they do have archives, documents of, like, you know, things that we
Old
did,
flyers and things.
event flyers and stuff like that. So if you have papers or pictures and you're like, I'm not tossing this, we can put them in there, okay?
We can take the rocks out.
We
and
can
put the
take the
pictures.
rocks out,
And one question,
yes.
and we also have several gigabytes of club data, club archives. I think we need to go through sometime, and
Yes,
For
Where's
me
that,
to
where's
learn.
that stored?
I've got it stored in 2 places on my own cloud drive, and also on, I have an Amazon cloud drive, and it's all there.
you know, I'll tell you what I do, since we're on this topic, is I archive everything to disk. The reason why I do that is because how do I know that the server isn't gonna crash at Google? So I just put it on a disk. When Mr. Robeson turned over all the club archive stuff to me, it was basically his Google Drive. He said, here it is. You know, so I took it all, I stuffed it all, I weeded through there, threw out junk, and kept all the good stuff, and then put it back on the Google Drive. So which is where it's parked right now. So before I finish doing my tasks, I will put that on a disk. I'll put all of our important things on disk, but I'm going to keep it on the Google Drive
Yeah.
so that it will be accessible to him and whatever e-board he has, so they can just continue, you know? I
And
mean, I
keep
just
it-
think that would make it easier.
And keep it on a physical disk as well.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Just to get, it's a backup.
Yes, right. Okay, I think that pretty
Well,
much covers it.
I have something I
Yes.
just wanted to add. Maybe it's been discussed at other times, but, so it is kind of unprecedented for a whole bunch of officers to leave all at the same time. Usually there's some kind of I mean, we have some people willing to stay ahead, which is great. So, I mean, usually there's a staggering, you know, like this year the vice president goes and next year the president or something. So it's all fine and it's all out there, but I think that when we go to the general meeting, that it would be good to say something about some of the reasons. So people understand that it isn't just like, you know, the mice have jumped ship or something. Because some people,
Yeah.
I know at least one person who thinks that. And I mean, one person is only one person, but, so, I mean, it doesn't have to be a big, long thing, it can be the 100% truth. It should be the 100% truth, which is, just was a coincidence of facts that our president had agreed to take it for a year. She was, things happened in her life. She has a new job, her mother passed away, she has new responsibilities. It's just more than she can handle right now, but she's carrying on as a member in the group. The secretary has been a member of this group forever, and she needs a little bit of a break, but she's carrying on as a member. The co-vice president has been in the group forever and is very committed to certain aspects of it and continues on in the group, but just, you know. So I think that sometimes in a group, when you're talking to people, that is a kind of transparency that I don't think we've really said. And I just would like to recommend that we do.
Yes, Lynn?
In a lot of clubs, there's a year term, and there are elections every year.
But that wasn't
So-
this year. That wasn't this club
I
though.
mean, term limit is,
No, not term limits, but generally there's elections every year, and well, maybe term limits, you know.
Yeah.
And you do
Officers
and you do
are
have a
elected
complete
yearly.
Change
Okay.
of officers. Yeah.
But that, what do our
Right,
bylaws
so-
say? Are they,
Pardon me?
did,
It's
Yeah.
1 year term.
It's
Just
1
1
year.
year term, yeah.
Here's the
Our
reason,
bylaws say a one-year term.
yes.
okay,
There's
then.
an
So,
election
I don't
every
think,
year.
I
Right. So
really
I know
don't
there's an
think
election, but
we owe
I
explanations to to the membership, especially if our bylaws say a year term, I could tell you all. So right now, we have $1,241.92.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we did pretty good in membership fees in the month of December, so.
See, that is a testament to our club and our outreach and our actions and things that we have done, and talking about that and getting other people interested in what we have done and wanting to be with us to continue this kind of work. So that's pretty good. Thank you, Lynn.
Oh, wait, how much did we spend on the party? Is that what you're gonna say right now?
No, I just want to talk about the party. How much did we spend, like $150?
$49.73.
And that's gonna be deducted from the 1,200?
Yeah. So not bad.
No, absolutely, pretty darn good.
Have we heard
I thought it
anything
was a
about
really
the,
nice party,
state?
and I love your house, and I
Yeah.
want to thank you, Laurel, for letting us have it at your house.
Oh, you're so
We were,
welcome.
we were
I'll take-
just looking at the pictures, some of the pictures of the party last night, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And I said, Laurel's house is positively beautiful, just
Oh, you
the lights
guys.
and like you could see the outside Christmas lights through the window.
Yeah,
And
the
so
reflection.
it's so cozy and Christmassy and
Over
very,
the
very nice.
years, I've learned how to put a few things up, but seriously, the good news is that I said I would do it if you guys brought the food and took everything out of the house.
We did.
And you did! It was great, you left me 2 meatballs, which I asked for.
And you had to hold on.
Oh, you asked for those. No, I asked for the meatballs. No, I mean, really, it really was, and I made it in perfect time the next morning and everything, it was great.
Good.
But that's the way to do a party, because as you can see, my little Ted Kaczynski's cabin does open up a bit for people, and I mean, you can do that, and so it was really a great way to do it, which usually is hard for me is, when I'm cooking all the food as well. So anyway, I was very happy to have everybody.
Yeah, and I thought that I had no idea that Warren.
That's his name, it's a Danish name.
I know,
Oh, it's on.
yeah.
I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do,
Lovely.
it was nice. I mean, I just felt so,
Good music.
I actually didn't.
oh yeah, well, that was Pandora, good old Pandora.
What?
Did you ever get to play that playlist?
I only was able to play it just through my phone, but I mean, no, how did I do it? I had to do it one at a time. In other words, I could put one thing on, but it wouldn't just cycle. That was what happened that day, but yeah, that was a good playlist,
That was, I liked it.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, there was between 27 and 30.
Something like that. I actually don't have it in the binder yet because I
That's okay.
sent the minutes to you, and we were
It
gonna
was well
have,
attended, it was really
we were
nice.
gonna send
Well,
it
I was
out
gonna
to
say this one
approve.
thing too, about, speaking of Chris, and we
But
can
I
decide if
didn't
you want this in, but, so when we had this reign of speakers, and they were there, and whoever the fourth one was, I think it was Warren, for Tony, and I looked over at Chris, and I just said, something like, aren't you proud of us? And he went, yes, I really am. And he reached over and took my arm and held on to it. Like,
Yeah,
like he was really proud. I mean,
Yeah.
we made this happen.
yeah.
Like we weren't just like schlockos,
Right, right. And
Well,
Yeah, and I told him to welcome back and he appreciated it.
yeah.
You have
I used to
schlocko
be.
potential.
But I think that having all those people show up and want to be seen in or be a part of the group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
including our meeting before that where we actually had a staff member for the first time
Yeah.
that I can
Yes,
in a long
Yeah.
time.
that was,
It means that they're
Unusual.
recognizing that this group is
Is
worth
an
Well, and then we know that
consideration,
Sergio said that yes, we can as a name,
Yes.
and we know, and we had,
Yeah.
we've had 3 or 4 people say that,
Yeah.
and
It makes me wish that he had come to that meeting, that
Who,
November
Sergio?
meeting, the meeting where the staffer from Mr. Phil,
Oh, yeah.
okay, so moving on. Next thing I want to talk about is we found one little tiny teeny typo in the bylaws, which I've already talked to Dagmar about. And it was Article 14, Section 6, which was labeled Section 5. We have 2 Section 5s, so just want
Oh,
to
that's
point that out.
Oh, drat.
Dread.
But the problem is that's a key section for the Democratic Party right now,
Yes.
because that was, what was that, the definition of member in good standing?
Yes.
Or it
Right.
was how the delegates are selected?
Actually, it was how the
or-
delegates are selected, so we
Yeah,
have
so
to
that's a
bring
section
that up at the
they-
meeting so
they
you guys
wanted
can
to
hear
see,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get that fixed.
Okay.
The next thing I wanna bring up, and it's like the last big business thing, I can't believe this is like the end of this. It is, it's weird. Anyway, is the club charter application, okay? So we have the club charter packet, you guys have all signed it, except for Phil. Phil, where are you, Phil?
Bill?
Yeah, hasn't signed it, so we're gonna bring it to the January 7th meeting, so we can have, gotta have like at least 20 guys on there. We only have 8 or 7, so we're gonna bring that. Now, the dues, it's due January 1st, but you have 60 days in order to turn it in and not get penalized, which we can do. It also is
And
gonna
which
cost
better.
$100.
It's also better if we do that because, some of the things that have to go on there, they want to know the president and the treasurer of the club, well, that's gonna change.
Right,
And then also, what are your goals for 2016? I think that should really be done
The
by
Democratic
the new
president.
board.
We're gonna elect the Democratic president, that's our goal.
Yeah, well,
They
they
have
ask,
like a whole-
are there,
but you guys, they got like a
That's it,
whole.
local
That's it.
elections and, are you gonna phone bank or,
You can pass
what are
this,
you
you
gonna
can
do?
pass this
Well, I
around.
mean,
Well, I think
kind
we could just list all the things we normally do.
Exactly.
Just say general.
But they wanna know, they have like the questions and big old blank
Well,
spaces.
here, let me read you the questions.
Okay.
What were your grassroots election activities last year, including precinct operations, voter registration, fundraising events, or activities? What were the results of elections held in your area? Number 2, what were your non-campaign related activities last year? 3, what are your campaign activity plans and other grassroots education or outreach plans for this year?
And you're paying
2016?
them to do this?
What types of elections will be held in your area? What type of services would you like to see from the LACDP and the organization committee this year? What kinds of trainings would you like to see from the LACDP and the organization committee? So those are things maybe, you guys would have suggestions for what to put on there, on that page. This is the whole.
Was the mayor's
packet.
election in 2014 or was it
I can pass this
Yeah.
around if you
2015?
wanna see the
14.
packet.
14, yeah.
So we didn't have any elections.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a form letter, but I also
It is.
think that the LACDP does offer some good stuff,
Yeah.
for their Dem clubs, like, the training is pretty good.
Voter database.
Yeah.
We all know what that
Kidding.
looks like.
Controversial
We
issues.
understood this stuff on
Oh
the
my
news,
goodness.
right? We've
with or
seen
without
it.
fireballs.
You got-
Oh, gosh.
Has non-denominational, non-Christmassy wrap.
Oh,
There you go.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Speech.
Just speak.
Now it's vinyl coated. Being a printer, I'm like, I can appreciate this paper, this is very, very cool.
Well,
Very, very
just a hint of fleck, of gold fleck.
Yes! Yes!
Where's mine?
Oh,
Where's
thank
my
you,
paper?
thank you so much.
Yes. Now,
This is so awesome.
there is
Thank
We
you,
appreciate you.
something that fell out, just so you know, is the gift tag, because
Oh, this.
a couple of us were debating. We wanted to get you the blue because it's Democrat blue.
Democrat
But
blue.
but black is also an option, or white, so
Revolution.
here's
Here's a white
black.
one. Here's a white one. I've done a white one. So if
Blue.
you like the blue?
I see, I knew she would like that.
Awesome. Thank you guys. This is so very nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I love you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, oh, it was great.
So
Cool.
we can play ours together.
Yes.
I'll bring mine, I'll bring mine, we'll just
Awesome.
take it to the beach.
Great.
Oops, sorry.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you.